Hey guys, welcome to The Bite. My name is Jackie. Today's video we're going to be making a pumpkin cheesecake with a caramel pecan drizzle on top. It's so good. I'm not usually a fan of pumpkin pie, but this pumpkin cheesecake is where it's at. Been making this for years before I started the channel and I started documenting my recipes, and this was one of my top favorites. My husband's uncle actually really loves this too, so shout out to him because now he can get the recipe himself. So let me go over the ingredients so we can start baking the cheesecake. You will need some cream cheese. I have a little bit of heavy cream, some Greek yogurt, or you can use sour cream, some sugar, and a little bit of flour, pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie mix, but pumpkin puree, some eggs, and then for the crust, you just need some graham crackers and butter. And then to put it all together, you will need a springform pan. I actually learned a tip from Bigger Bolder Baking, which is another YouTube cooking channel, to take the bottom of this and flip it so that the part that is elevated is on the bottom of the cheesecake. That way it's easy for you to slide the cheesecake off instead of having that little ridge to try and dig each piece out from. So that is a really good tip, and I'm implementing that right here. So I've ground up these graham crackers and I'm just gonna add my butter. I'm just gonna add my butter right to it and just mix it all up. All right, this is mixed well. You know the drill. It's just kind of like resembles wet sand, just kind of like my magic bars, the base of that. Any cheesecake really is gonna have the same base. So I'm just gonna add that to the bottom of my springform pan. And then using my hands, I'm going to, well first I kind of want to use my spoon to just get it all into one even layer. And I want it to go up the sides a little bit. So come close so I can show you. So I'm pushing it down with my spoon, and then I also want to push it up the sides. I'm gonna use my fingers in just a minute, but I'm just kind of starting it out by using my spoon. All right, we need to bake this crust first so that it can set. So I have my oven preheated to 350. I'm gonna put this in there for 8 to 10 minutes or until you can start to smell it and the edges become golden brown. All right, so now we're gonna use the stand mixer to make the cheesecake filling. So I cannot stress it enough that your cream cheese should be at room temperature, or at least take it out an hour and a half to 2 hours before you make the cheesecake, just to get that kind of chill out of the cream cheese, because otherwise you'll end up with lumps, and a lumpy cheesecake is no good. I'm telling you, I've had one. I've also made one. No good. So room temperature. I'm gonna add all of this in. So I'm just going to whip together all the cream cheese until it looks smooth and creamy and there are no lumps. Just gonna clean off the paddle. And then to this, I'm going to add all my Greek yogurt. Just mix it up one more time. Now I'm gonna add in all the eggs. This is looking smooth, so now I'm going to add the sugar and the flour, the heavy cream, and the pumpkin. Give that one last mix until everything is combined, and then we'll add it to our crust. All right, the filling came out perfect. I'm just gonna add it all to the crust, and then I'm gonna put it back into the oven. All right, it's completely filled. I'm gonna stick this back into the oven at 350 for about an hour. The edges will start to brown and the center will be jiggly a little bit. That's good. That means you're gonna have a fluffier, just more luxurious cheesecake. So that's what you're looking for. At that point, we'll take it out, let it cool, and I'm gonna let it cool overnight, so we're gonna be back tomorrow. But at that point, we're gonna drizzle it with all that luscious caramel. I will see you then. So the cheesecake baked last night. I took it out of the oven, I let it cool on the countertop, and then for about an hour or so, and then I stuck it in the fridge. It's cooled overnight and it's ready for us to put the caramel sauce on it. And it did crack in the center. That's okay. This is a homemade cheesecake. It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to just pour your love into it, and that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna top it off with a caramel sauce, so you really won't even see that, plus pecan, so you're not gonna see that. If you don't plan on topping it with this, you can put berries on it or something like that, or just leave it as is. It's gonna taste delicious, I guarantee you. So now we wanna get started on the salted caramel sauce. So I have a non-stick saucepan here, and I like to use these when I'm making caramel or any kind of sugar syrup because I just feel like it's easier to clean. So I use these. So for the sugar, let me show you what you're gonna need. So I have sugar, water, butter, and heavy cream, and just a little bit of salt, just the basic ingredients to make any kind of salted caramel sauce. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just pour my sugar and my water into the saucepan, and I'm gonna let this boil. So follow me to the stove. So my sugar and water are gonna dissolve on medium-high heat. It's on the saucepan. It's gonna cook for like 5-6 minutes. You'll see the sugar start to dissolve, which is important because if you don't let the sugar dissolve all the way, it'll become like a glaze on a donut where you can still kind of taste the sugar granules, and you want it to be smooth. It's a more enjoyable cheesecake that way, or more enjoyable caramel sauce for that matter. So I'm gonna let this cook on medium-high heat. It's going to bubble up, and then it's gonna start to turn like a dark brown color, just like a normal caramel sauce would, and that's what I'm looking for to top the cheesecake off. And then once it's to that point, I'll show you what to do. All right, the caramel has become a nice deep amber color. Take a look. It's condensed down quite a bit, but it's got that color that we're looking for. So now we want to directly add in our heavy cream. This is not cold straight from the fridge. You don't want it to be cold from the fridge. We're just gonna mix this up, and it's gonna bubble up, so be very careful. But like I was saying, you don't want it to be cold straight from the fridge because it's gonna really shock the hot sugar. So you just either wanna take it out earlier than you're gonna make it, or just heat it up in the microwave, which is what I did, just for about 15 seconds or so. So I'm gonna stir this up until it condenses down again. It's still on medium-high, till it develops that caramel sauce texture, and then we're gonna add the butter and pour it all over the cheesecake. So this is perfect, and it's ready for the butter. So I'm just gonna add both tablespoons of butter right in, and I'm gonna take it off the heat at this point. This caramel sauce looks luscious. It is ready to go. But before I do that, I do want to add a pinch of salt to this. It's not quite a salted caramel, but I want it to have something to counterbalance all the sweetness. So just maybe half a teaspoon straight into there. And just quickly give it a stir. If you happen to overcook your caramel and it doesn't have this creamy texture, it's actually thicker, add a little bit more heavy cream and you'll get this. Add it maybe 2 tablespoons at a time, and this is what you'll end up with. All right, so now what I want to do is, taking a butter knife, I want to go around the edge very carefully of my springform pan, just because when I open it, I don't want the parts of the cheesecake that's stuck to the springform pan to pull away from the center. So I just want to help it out and just go very carefully around the edge. All right, we are ready to go. I have a cake pan here that I'm gonna slide this onto, and I'm gonna carefully open it. Ta-da! All right, looking good. So I'm just going to slide this right out from underneath. Ta-da! And see how we flipped the cake pan? So you're not getting, there's a little ledge right underneath there, and it would have been really hard to slide this cheesecake off had we done it the other way. So I got that tip from Bigger Bolder Baking. She's awesome. She has a YouTube channel, so check her out, but that is really, really helpful. I'm gonna clean this up, and then we'll pour the caramel over the cheesecake. All right, we are ready to pour. Just give your caramel one last stir. Oh yeah. So to give it a really nice dramatic effect, you just want to push it a little bit over some of the edges. It looks so good. And then you also want to make sure that the entire top portion is covered in the caramel too. And then the spoon is my treat for later. But I have a cup of pecans that I've just chopped up quickly, and those go just directly in the center, just like so. And if some of them fall to the edges too, just gives it a little extra dramatic effect. This looks amazing. I mean, just look at that caramel, that luscious golden drizzle down the sides. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna cut myself a nice big piece. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is just heavenly. Just heavenly. I'm telling you. Look, and the caramel is still drizzling down. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. When I tell you that you need this on your Thanksgiving table, I really, truly mean it. You, forget the pumpkin pie, forget all of that. You need this in your life. If you want more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because so many good things are coming up throughout November and throughout the holiday season. And I know you're gonna give this a try, so when you do, don't forget to tag me on Instagram because I love seeing your recreations, and send me the pictures so that I can post them on my Instagram stories. I cannot look at this any longer without taking another bite. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on The Bite. I'm salivating.